Love is calling and we're answering. Welcome to the Lover List, where we bring you the most heartwarming love, dating, and relationship stories straight from Reddit. Don't miss out on the love. Like, comment, subscribe, and turn on notifications. After 12 years of marriage and 2 kids, my 37 female husband, 37 male, came out as gay and we are divorcing. I am sick to death of people telling me how courageous he is and me being expected to go along with it. Is it wrong for me to want to tell them the truth? And edit 3, I forgot to type this as I was just going to bed. The whole reason I came here was to know how to respond to our acquaintances when they approach me about it being so great. Mark came out. This is basically going to be my go-to response. I'm happy that Mark finally had the courage to live true to himself, but divorces are always sad and unfortunately ours is no different. Edit 2, just realized I could edit after the lock. This is my first gold. Thank you so much. This has been amazing at all the support I've gotten. I don't even know how many private messages I've gotten since the lock and how many people have gone through this or had relatives to through this. Things will be static for a while, but when there is news I will post an update. Right now I'm going to go hug my kids because even with all the crap, I never would have had them without Mark in my life, and they are my 2 favorite people in the world. Thank you again. I hope this doesn't get too long. I'm sorry in advance, there are lots of emotions here. Mark and I met in college and had a really great relationship. We dated until both of us finished law school, after which he proposed and I gladly said yes. At the time he was much more religious than I was and he insisted we have kids right away and that I stay at home with them to raise them while he worked. I had really wanted to start my practice as well, but I could see it was really important to him, so I relented and we had 2 amazing kids and his law career really took off. I was able to work from home and hire help 3 times a week, with me still in the house, to do insurance and real estate paperwork reviews. It was something, but I had really wanted to be a litigator. I was even okay with this and my resentment didn't ever really show unless Mark would remind me that stay-at-home moms should be stay-at-home moms and not work at all. Marriage turned really bad after our second child was born 8 years ago. We basically became like unfriendly roommates. I pleaded with Mark to go to counseling with me and he would, and things would get better for a few months, then it would go to crap. I would insist on divorce, but then he would remind me that his religion does not allow divorce, so I would insist on counseling and the cycle repeated itself more times than I can count. Then about a year ago Mark hit me with the bombshell revelation that he has been gay since he was a teenager. I was honestly relieved for him because it seemed to explain so much of why he acted the way he did, why he was distant and overcompensating with so much. I was actually very relieved that our divorce would finally come and he could live true to himself. He moved out, but it turns out he had been having an affair with his much younger partner for about 5 years. The dates on this are very sketchy BTW because it's very possible this man was underage when he and Mark started the affair. He certainly was when he and Mark met. I grew very resentful, but I was busy working my fingers to the bone to save the marriage to appease Mark's religious sentiment while he was off having sex, technically cheating on me and violating the principles of the religion only he really cared about. Our kids are also of the age that I could have easily gone back to work, but again I stayed at home to appease his desire to appear as the perfect Christian couple all the while he is carrying on with a younger lover. Mark has also fought me at every turn over the divorce. He doesn't want to pay any alimony even though it would take me years to get my career to where I could support even half the lifestyle the kids and I lead now. He wants to pay bare bones child support and wants the image that we split custody, but in reality he makes the effort to see the kids once every couple of months and ignores their calls. He's a great lawyer, so even he has to know all he is doing is delaying the inevitable to make things hard on me. And all this time, he's taking sabbaticals from his firm and taking long vacations to places like Tavarua with his boyfriend, delaying our divorce even further. It happens almost daily, and certainly weekly, where family and friends will see me at dinners, the grocery store or restaurants. We live in an old farm community that has essentially been turned into a commuter town for the city nearby, but it retains a very small town feel, and tell me how amazing they think Mark is for living true to himself and being so courageous to finally come out. I've gone along with this because I don't want to embarrass either of us. But yesterday I was approached by an older woman from our old, now thank God, church who almost shamed me for keeping Mark in a relationship that he didn't want to be in. I didn't snap, but it's as close as I've come. The only people that really know how I feel are my best friend, my mom, and my counselor. Is it time that I just start telling the truth when I have one of these awkward interactions? I feel that if Mark had left me for a younger woman he'd been seeing for 5 years, everyone would be expecting me to spill the beans on what a jerk he was. TLDR, my husband came out as gay. He'd been having an affair for 5 years while we struggled to keep marriage together. He's now being awful in the divorce, but our community wants me to play along and be supportive of his decision. Edit. This totally blew up as I was taking kids to school. Wow, thank you everyone. Lots of people asking the same questions which I should have clarified in the beginning. Sorry about that. I have a really great lawyer as of January and he's working on it. Mark did every shitty divorce trick in the book to frustrate me into settling. It took that long for me to be able to even hire a lawyer in our area. I'm lucky in that I could represent myself in preliminary hearings, which in turn allowed a judge nullify quite a bit of the crappy stuff Mark has done legally. Now that I'm going through it firsthand, I am absolutely going to go into divorce when I do finally work. I've always heard, but I'm appalled at how the dirty tricks can affect people's lives. I'm not out to ruin him, which is thus far why I haven't spread the talk of his affair. I don't think most people know that he cheated on me, and even if they do, they seem to be more impressed with his coming out. I rationalize that ruining him is not in my kids or my best interest. Lots of great tips and I really appreciate every comment. This was way bigger than I thought and I'm reading all of them. Thank you. I'm a gay man myself and that's great for him that he came out, but he ruined a large portion of your life. He took up your time, your career, your emotional investments. He did all that for what? Because he was too scared to face the truth. You are justified in being furious. If my partner came out and told me he was actually straight after building his career while I stayed at home and put my career on hold to help raise our family, the amount of walls and punching bags I would want to go through. Then to turn it around in court and not make right in how he wronged you. I honestly don't know how you haven't told people just what exactly he took from you. If he isn't there for the kids will figure it out regardless of the custody battle. Coming out doesn't make you a good parent. You were there for them and still are. You owe it to yourself to fight hard in the custody battle. You owe it to yourself to move on. You owe it to yourself to set the record straight when people praise him for being happy while you are left in the dust. All those years he knew he was lying and he has no respect for you. Pisses me off just reading about your situation. He's an ungrateful f***. Someone call Karma and tell her she's hit the jackpot. You brought tears to my eyes. Thank you so much for the perfect response, not to take away from anyone else at all, but you really hit home. I'm a gay man whose own father came out as an adult, for what it's worth. I would say that coming out at 16 in Alabama so that you can live your drag princess fantasies at high school prom is brave. Trapping an innocent woman in a marriage while you cheat on her because of your own religious self-hate is deeply cowardly. I have a great relationship with my father now that he's out, but we had some rocky years around how he treated my mom. But your husband is far worse. You owe him nothing and should speak your mind. Honey, you have been trying to do the right thing your whole life. What has it gotten you, not including your kids? Snapping at people is wrong. You live in a smaller town, so this is how you get the real story out. You wait until the biggest gossip is around and you break down. Be pathetic, cry, allow the devastation to come out. Tell them about the years of cheating, of how he knew he was gay but married you anyway. That man cheated you out of years of your life while cheating. Let some of the stories about not seeing his kids but having sex vacations out. This way you only have to tell one person and the whole community will know. Yes, also, get some damn support. What you are going through is horrible and you are a victim. Look, even gay rights advocates like Dan Savage call that crap out. Get your kids some therapy and start taking charge of your life instead of being the good girl. The go-to response should be to give these people a horrified look until they shut up. If they don't, my divorce is a private matter. I don't discuss it with strangers. But if you absolutely must respond, you are mistaken. It's wonderful that Mark has finally come out of the closet, but he wasn't courageous when he pretended to love me or continued to lie to me about his sexuality. He wasn't brave when he cheated on me the last 5 years of our marriage. I understand why you would praise someone for being true to himself, but he was never true to me in the decade we were married. Had his lover been a young girl from his office instead of a guy, you wouldn't expect me to praise his courage while having to rebuild my life as a single mother from a marriage broken by lies and infidelity. And if your spouse came out of the closet and walked out of your life, I doubt you'd be as happy about it as you're expecting me to be. You don't owe him anything and can tell people whatever you want. If you have any evidence of the affair, you might be able to use that in the divorce for leverage. If you have any evidence of the affair, you might be able to use that in the divorce for leverage. No, she won't. Infidelity is almost never a source for leverage in a divorce. This is a trope you only see in the movies and on TV because it makes for good drama. Courts could care less about drama or the reasons why a marriage failed. Unless the cheating spouse was spending thousands and thousands of dollars of marital assets on lovers, it won't be a factor in determining alimony or dividing up marital property. And it almost certainly won't be a factor in determining custody and visitation rights. Stop being the perfect wife. Start fighting for your kids and to get out of this marriage. Fight hard. Don't be all smiles in the grocery store. Mark wasn't courageous. He was all fear at every turn. Couldn't stay faithful to his wife. Couldn't divorce her because that would ruin his perfect Christian couple image. Couldn't be a good father to his kids. Cheating on your long-suffering partner is not courage. Marrying a woman when you know you are gay is not courage. Nothing he has done has been courageous so far. The train for courage left a long time ago, and he's still not doing the right thing. God, I am just incensed on your behalf. Get a good lawyer and take half. This has gone on for too long. I'm not sure what advice to give you, but I suspect you came here to vent and for validation anyway. So here it is. Your ex manipulated you into waylaying your career and having children sooner than you really wanted them. He used you as a beard and cheated on you with a child while you took care of your family and tried to do the right things. Your ex is an asshole, more than an asshole. If anyone starts in on how awesome he is, I don't think you need to go into detail, but don't agree either. Maybe just act incredulous and say, do you really expect me to be happy that my husband has abandoned me and his children? Seriously, people just don't think. It's the politically correct thing to be happy that gay people are free to come out as gay, and that is a great thing in general. But it's so stupid to expect that the mother of his children is actually cool about the impending divorce. Anytime people come and talk to you about how courageous he is and how terrible you are, just tell them you wish he would have told you all this before you married, had kids, and gave up your career. Ask them if they would please drop the conversation, because finding out he was cheating on you the entire marriage was still hurtful, even after he came out as gay. Seriously, f that selfish act. And if anyone says anything positive about him, make sure they know the entire story. You can say what you want to people. You were a victim in all of this. It's sad when people can't accept who they are, but it's worse when they drag other people into their lives for the sake of keeping face. My ex was married to me for 7 years, we have 3 kids together, he wanted a 4th, all for the sake of keeping his straight persona up for others. It was misery for me, and I ended up in therapy over it. I recommend therapy for you as well. This is a massive betrayal and upheaval of your life. You have been living a lie just as much as him, even though you didn't know it. It takes a toll. Don't be ashamed of being mad or upset or anything else, but do get help for yourself. I wish you much luck with the future. This isn't the end. You will find happiness. Internet hugs to you. Another episode of relationship stories that will bring a smile to your face and a tear to your eye is in the books. If these tales left you inspired, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any future episodes filled with tales that'll warm your heart.